Welcome back to Sports Extra, presented by your local Toyota dealers. So you know him for maybe 3 decades across New York sports radio, first at ESPN New York, nationally on CBS Sports Radio, most recently on WFAN. Now, his departure was well documented, so why keep talking about old news here? We are going to talk New York sports and his new sports media venture. Joining us here on Sports Extra, Brandon Tierney. Welcome, BT. How
You're the
are
best.
you?
I am happy to be here. Tina, how you doing today?
So great to see you.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
And great to see you in person.
Yep.
All right, so we're not going to beat a dead horse. We're not going to keep doing it. But in your last 2 weeks on the air at WFAN, after they had made the move and the announcements and all the things, what did you learn most about either yourself or you within your career during that time in your last interactions with, the callers and as you and Sal Licata closed out your show?
It's a good question. I think the first thing I learned is that more people like me than I thought. I mean, when you do what we do and you have the opinions on the Yankees and the Mets and you have these crazy debates, and we got fiery, there's no doubt, sound like it after it, you're going to make some enemies. And that's generally what tends to resonate more on social media. So you kind of feel that maybe more than some of the adulation that you might. And as the announcement came out and as the final show started to come in, it was a reversal. We were embraced, and it really felt awesome, and I certainly thank New York for that. I felt that. I know Sal felt that as well. So that's what I learned in terms of that. In terms of what maybe I learned about myself, that I'm as resilient as I probably had hoped to be, because this was a bit of a curveball, and you have 2 choices. You can keep the bat on your shoulder, or you could adjust to the breaking ball and give it a whack and let something happen. I'm going to miss it. I've got love for the station, there's no doubt, but I'm excited. I'm really excited about what's coming next, which is obviously,
let's go, Tina, kid. At BT Unleashed podcast.
Yeah.
So tell us where it is, how we could watch it. Is it officially launched? All the things.
Oh, yeah, it's officially launched. We're live. I'm doing a daily show. I'm doing a live show. Obviously, it gives me the chance, Tina, to react to stuff live.
And it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube at BT Unleashed, and it's there's no barriers, no restraints. I mean, I think some people who saw the Jet podcast that I was doing unfiltered after all those.
That's a good point. Yeah.
After all those miserable Jet games, I think they got a chance to see unfiltered, where you don't have to necessarily comply with the FCC. You'll see a little bit more of a looser, maybe a little bit more of a nuttier, but still the same passionate me every day, and we're just getting it off the ground. It's very exciting.
Yes.
It's a little overwhelming, but good things are coming, and it's galvanizing in a way.
And this
really,
is on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube.
And when did you come up with the concept? Kind of
playing off the unkillable speech that I launched into the day after Aaron Rodgers ruptures Achilles 4 plays in against him. The Jets broke me that night. They broke me.
A lot of people. I still have PTSD from that.
Oh my God, Tina! And I get on the air and I'm like, Sal, just give me a couple of minutes. I don't know where I'm going. I have nothing written down. I told Dove, who was our engineer, I said, have the dump button ready. I really don't know what's about to happen. And I just launched into this 2 or 3 minute tirade where basically the essence was, if you didn't kill us last night, we are unkillable. And if I couldn't take that and then transferred from being a sports fan into now a new line of work and adjusting to something that just changed very radically a couple of weeks ago, then maybe that was a farce, that speech, which I know it wasn't.
It wasn't. And what time does it start? You're live.
Yeah, I'm going live at 10.
10 a.m.
There'll be some days where I have to make some adjustments. It's only been a week or so. The subscriptions and the
you're still
energy.
Building it out.
I mean, I'm still learning this.
Right,
you want to talk about something? I'm not kidding. I got my 10-year-old son who's helping me produce them. We're going to StreamYard. We're hitting buttons. I'm like, dude, let me just make sure I can get on the air.
Yeah.
And then once we got on the air, it feels natural. It's me doing what I love, and that certainly doesn't change. The format changes, the backdrop changes, but the mission doesn't change.
Love it. And that's what I was going to say. What is your mission? And there it is. Let's talk New York sports. I love how it's live, reactive. So I also love how you show your fandom. I do. So let's begin there. And you just mentioned it, how the unkillable. The Jets. I mean, and especially after today's performance against the Patriots, what do they do next? Is it time do you look at Aaron Glenn now? Is it the talent? What do you see, especially after today?
It's amazing, Tina. I'm sitting there again today watching the game, like almost every other game. I'm literally watching the game like this. Like, I can't be more disengaged. My son even said, he's like, Dad, I don't even want to watch. I'm like, I'm barely watching it. It's on. I get it. All right, so here's the thing. I think it's very lazy. Now, I understand Jet fans are predisposed to just, unleash and rant and the worst. And my boy Beningo, who I love, this is not a knock, but, the Joe Beningo school of thought, everything's going to go wrong and there's no hope. I don't subscribe to that. I think that's nonsense, okay? Because there's too many examples of teams coming from the ashes to eventually eventually get it right. But to get it right, you've got to have the right people in place. Now, I don't know if Aaron Glenn's the right coach for this team. I don't know. But I know that I can't even remotely judge him based on the dearth of talent that they have. They're starting an undrafted quarterback. Their defense is atrocious. First of all, once they traded Q and Sauce, which I loved, I thought it was smart for the future.
They got a lot back.
They got a lot back, and I do believe in Muji, which is a big part of the equation. I think he's going to...
He made that move, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's going to really do a lot with him. I think he's going to maximize him. But to expect Aaron Glenn to win or to even compete with third stringers, it's unrealistic. So what they have to do is obviously find a quarterback. And listen, unless they were to make a bold trade for a coach who's currently coaching somewhere, that's one thing. Like, if you can do that, then you bring him in. There's no question. I don't think that they'll do that. I think they want to give him another chance. So do I. But you have to get players. Their talent base is wretched. It's not NFL level.
Do you think they would actually do business with the Giants with this draft situation, which is still in the balance? But you think they would?
Well, I think they might have to. If the Jets present the Giants the best deal, maybe say better than the Browns or the Titans or whomever else, the Titans have a quarterback, the Raiders, well, then you shouldn't not do the trade because it's the Jets. You do what's best for you.
Your team, and how your team could build on that.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about the Yankees and their situation right now this offseason?
I'm not concerned yet fully because there's still people on the board that I know that they want and I think that they will get. Now, if we wake up tomorrow and Bellinger's in Toronto or Bellinger's in Queens, well, you're going to have a different reaction on BT Unleashed. I can promise you that.
There you go. Monday,
at 10 o'clock, by the way. I also think, Tina, that there's a couple of different ways to build a team. Like in the minds of the conventional thought for the Yankee fan, get 9 sluggers, have 6 all-stars, and bludgeon teams to death like the championships team, even going back to Reggie, like they used to do. Well, I actually think the Yankees can build it differently, where maybe you trade for Peralta with the Brewers, maybe you sign Amaya, and it doesn't look like they will. But I think the Yankees have a chance when Cole comes back, with Schlittler, with Fried, who was a beast.
We keep forgetting Cole's coming back.
To maybe build the best staff in all the baseball by far. Now, without Bellinger, that's a bigger issue. If they don't want to give him that big money, and I can kind of understand it to an extent, then they should, although I don't think Hal will. I'm telling you what I would do if I owned the Yankees. Actually, if I owned the Yankees, I would get Bellinger, Peralta, and I would get Bichette.
Because you do have that money, they're just not spending it.
Yeah, but I do think that you have to factor in Lombard here, not for this year, but anything that the Yankees do is they're building out 1, 2, 3 years down the road. So if you get Bichette to play shortstop this year, you can punt Volpe to second when he's healthy.
Sure.
I would trade Jazz. Listen, I've talked to people in the Yankees. I can promise you there's no way Jazz is getting an extension. He's going to get traded. I can promise you that. So then when Lombard's ready, maybe next year or the year after that, McMahon's contract is up. Bichette goes to third base. Bichette goes to third. You got Lombard at short. You got Volpe at second. You can do it differently.
GM right here.
Well, I mean, I've been on. I got nothing personal against it. I like Brian Cashman. I've been on him for a while.
Yeah,
and let's face
you're honest, and it's your team, and you're on him.
But also what I'm saying, it is my team. But it's also what I'm saying is true. Not to be unfair to Cashman, 2009 for the Yankees without a championship is just utterly unacceptable.
It's crazy that we're even still talking about that. Well, we're running out of time. I would love to talk Knicks with you.
Running out of time. Come on, we're just getting going.
We could do all 22 minutes of content. But St. John's, real quick.
Yeah.
What's your scope on them for this year? Of course, you're still doing play-by-play for them.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it with Mink, so it's a blast. I have a lot of fun doing that. My read on St. John's is that it's a little worrisome. They don't have an identity yet.
Oh, that's interesting.
They don't have an identity.
Big
they got
change
players
from last year because of the changeover in the roster.
There's my guy, though. But how do you not trust this guy? Come on.
Yeah, that was my question. Of course, it's Rick Pitino's hands.
He's one of the 3 best college coaches of all time, in my opinion. He will get it much more right than it looks now. Now, will he get it right to the point where St. John's fans thought, Final Four, maybe cutting down nets?
After last year, I know.
I don't know about that. There's a better version to come, but there's no guarantee that it comes. I've got faith, but I thought they'd look a little bit better than they look so far, to be honest with you.
They struggled against those top 10 teams.
A little bit. Kentucky, you got to beat Ohio State.
It's still December. We've got a big January, February ahead. BT, and it's at BT Unleashed on YouTube, 10 a.m. Congratulations.
You're the best. You are the absolute best. I love you. You're fantastic.
We go back to, I was on your show in San Francisco when I was traveling with the Knicks.
That's right.
Yep.
Always
I was there to play Oakland and all that jazz.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra, and we will be right back after this.